Hello everyone, I'm Phoenix Tremaine, and I have more entertainment news for you. So if you haven't done so, please take a minute to subscribe. I have two channels, web series and movies, and Phoenix Tremaine. I would love for you to be a subscriber, follow me, and see all the different things that I post on YouTube. You can see the social media links I have below. And follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the usual. I do have a website, United Creators Network, where you can actually view my shows, my productions that I do. But right now, you're here for entertainment news. So we've got Monique news. Her sister says that she's delusional and makes fun of her. And then, so basically, this came from Straight from the A website, where there's a video clip of Monique's sister. It's either a video clip or just like a post that she posted where she was making fun of Monique for her different videos she's been doing about Netflix. She basically tells her to get a life. And then her sister says she's delusional. She makes fun of her. And then she says that their mother, has had 4 surgeries, 2 heart attacks, 3 strokes, and Monique hasn't visited her even once. But she wants us to boycott Netflix, and she's not even worried about her own mother who's dying. So, although in her post she also says her mother is starting to do better. So, I know that family situations can be very complicated. There were times where me and my mother had issues, and it was hard to be the good son, look past all of the pain and different things that I've been put through, and show up at the hospital. My mother died of diabetic complications, but for years she was constantly in the hospital because she was on dialysis, and there was always something going wrong. And so for years, my mother was in and out the hospital, in and out the hospital, in and out the hospital. And I had to say to myself, am I going to hold on to animosity and pain? Because if my mother does die, I'm going to have all of this guilt and regrets. So I went to my mother. I said, she was apologizing for different things that's happened over the years. And I said, don't worry about that. That's not important right now. Love you. This is the only thing I want to focus on right now. You're getting better. And eventually my mother did die. But I'm happy that I did what I had to do to go to the hospital to see her, to say goodbye on more than one occasion. At one point she was in a coma. And, I was still there. I was still showing up. And couldn't show up every single time she went to the hospital because it was so frequently. It was like clockwork, sometimes several times in a week. And I was a fireman at the time. And, you can't just take off work, or, when it first started happening, I did what I had to do to try to make sure I would get off work. They had to call somebody, give them overtime. It was a big deal. And, and taking time off, using vacation time, different things like that to try to be at the hospital. And then you get there, she sleep. You get there, because my brother would call me urgently, like, you gotta get to the hospital, you gotta get to the hospital. I rush to the hospital, and then most times she would sleep. But, she'd be like, oh, hey, how you doing? She's eating her Jell-O or whatever. And I'm like, you made it sound like she was dying, because she's in the hospital all the time for years. And he's like, well, I shouldn't be the one that's, just here right now. I'm like, I could have came after work. Firemen work 10-hour and 14-hour shifts, but we were 4 days on and 4 days off. I got 4 days off. Plus I got time before and after work. But you making it sound like she's dying now in this moment. And so I rush, and then most of the time she's telling me, you could have stayed at work. So there was a lot of hit and miss moments of, like, of doing it. But over the years of going back and forth from the hospital, I was glad that I did it, because when she finally died, I got a call from my brother, and the neighbor said that she was unresponsive. And I got there. It was a horrible thing to see my mother on the floor dead. I don't even go there. I'm off topic. So we were talking about Monique, but I was just wanted. I don't know if Monique will ever see this, or anybody will tell Monique about this video. But no matter what your mother has done in these moments, if she really is dying, if she had all of these strokes and heart attacks, which my mother also had a lot of, you don't want her to die having not made peace with the situations, because she's still your mother. Just like if you ever fell out with your kid, I don't know, I think Monique has a kid, whatever, but you wouldn't want a falling out between you and your kids to die like that. So I would say, and I'm not in Monique's shoes, I don't know what her mother did. I know that I think she was molested or something by her uncle or something. I don't know. I don't remember what happened. She got mad at Oprah because Oprah had her mother and her sister and her, I think her molester, on the Oprah Winfrey Show at one point. So I know it was a lot of complicated issues, but I don't know. Sometimes you make peace with certain things. I was molested, by my cousin, and if my cousin died, I probably would spit on a grave and do a dance. But he's not my mother. It's two different things. Your molester, do a jig. Spit on the grave, even take a piss. But your mother, it's a little different. Nobody's perfect. Unless she did horribly, abusive things to you that can't be forgiven, go see your mama. Even if it's just to say goodbye, or I forgive you, or go in peace, or something, hold her hand, let that pain go that you've been feeling or carrying around with you. But, don't do that to yourself, because in the end, if your mother dies, you will be more devastated that there are things that you haven't said that you probably would want to say before she's gone. So I'm getting on my soapbox, but Monique's sister put her on blast, and I talked about that on my other social media. So that was a long one. It was longer than I anticipated, so I'm going to stop this video, and I'll do my next video separately, so I don't have a huge video, because this one ain't going to take that long. We got Ja Rule and 50 Cent as our next subject. So I will get back to that, and then we'll do Tracy Ellis Ross versus Monique, that debate, and then some other stuff. So check me back, subscribe to me if you watch this whole thing, and subscribe, and you'll find out more about me as I talk about entertainment news. I'll tell you about my productions, and hopefully I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. And what do you think about Monique? Should she visit her mother, or she continue to just ignore her? So what do you think? What do you think? Tell me in the comments. I'm interested in seeing if maybe this is just a little too personal for me. But I'm happy I made peace with my mother, and I'm happy I put a smile on her face. And I'm happy I was there for her even when she was in her coma and didn't know I was there. I was happy to, hold her hand in her coma and just like talk to her and tell her everything was going to be okay. And she did wake up. But, hey, what do you think about this situation? Tell me in the comments. I would love to hear more. And subscribe. Thanks for watching. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you for being a subscriber.